So I was in a band called Altergrave, and we played a show at a local venue. A one Chadwick Bartlett from the
Shout out to
Renegades,
JMT.
as well as the They Call Me Hat Guy channel, is the front man of that band. They were playing that show with us, and so Nate was doing a live stream for that show. And he was like, "Hey, like we can live stream your set too if you'd like us to." And we're like, "Absolutely, dude." After an amount of time, Nate was like, "Man, I've been trying to get somebody to edit videos for me for a long time." And I was like, teach me, sensei. I will edit videos for you." And he was like, "Absolutely."
Yeah,
The
it can't
funny
be
thing is,
done.
the thing I do the most is probably the thing no one will ever notice, and that is cutting out the amount of times that we are sitting there talking and we're like, yes, mm, this. And I cut that and it's gone.
But that's the golden content. I want to watch a 10-hour compilation of Nate going, That's all I want in my life. Obviously, you're part of the Renegade Media Group YouTube channel. You know, it's a like very sort of big channel and stuff. Has had over 200 million views and stuff. Created by your fantastic friend and stuff, Nate, who's been on the podcast as well. Sort of, how did you like first meet sort of Nate and stuff though, and like sort of what was your first sort of introduction to the Renegade fold like?
So I was in a band called Altergrave, and we played a show at a local venue, the Hideaway. That is kind of it's one of two places that, if you think of metal bands that play locally, think of around here. And whenever we went to play that show, Nate was there, and he was recording for another band we played the podcast with, a one Chadwick Bartlett from the
Shout out to
Renegades, as
JMT.
well as the They Call Me Hat Guy channel, is the front man of that band. They were playing that show with us, and so Nate was doing a live stream for that show. And he was like, "Hey, like we can live stream your set too if you'd like us to." And we're like, "Absolutely, dude. Like, yeah, put us on there. Like, we have no problem with that." And pretty much from there, it was I subscribed immediately to his channel because I wanted to see what people were saying about the show while I was in there. And so whenever I got back home later after that show, I was just kind of like keeping an eye on subscriptions, and I noticed that Nate did live streams for video games as well, alongside what he was doing with the music scene and everything. And I was kind of like, "Hey man, like it's Nick from Altergrave. Like I see you guys play video games for live streams, and you guys have an audience. Just so you know, like I've always wanted to get into that kind of thing. Like, what would one have to do to put in like an
Just
application
a
to be
wink,
part
wink,
of like the
nudge, nudge, like.
Renegades?" Like, and him and Ben at the time were the ones on the stream, and they were like, "Yeah, man, just come on over." And I was like, "For real?" And they were like, "Yeah, like we know you're friends with Quinn." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm friends with Quinn. I kicked Quinn at Smash Brothers one time." Basically, like from there, I was just like, "Yeah, just let me know a time." And I showed up at their place, and then I was like, "Oh, you guys have like a whole YouTube channel running here." And I was like, "Yeah, man, like I would totally love to get in on doing stuff like this." So they had me do a live stream of Far Cry 5, and then when that went well, they had me get on the reaction videos. And then when that went pretty well, after an amount of time, Nate was like, "Man, I've been trying to get somebody to edit videos for me for a long time." And I was like, teach me, sensei. I will edit videos for you." And he was like, "Absolutely." And so now I've been the editor for Renegade Media Group for about 2 years.
Nice.
And it's pretty much just gone from there. I've just been with the channel and doing what I can to help out.
Yeah, and I gotta say and stuff like that, fantastic work and stuff like that on the videos. You know what I mean? Like what I've always liked and stuff about your guys' channel is a lot of the reaction space and stuff. A lot of it has quite tacky content and stuff. A lot of it is very just like, you can tell it's just like stock sort of the like video effects and stuff like overlays. It's very like just cobbled together and stuff.
Yeah.
But I always like with you guys, it's always very professional and stuff. You know what I mean? Even like the way you sort of introduce it and stuff, and sort of the like Patreon section and all. It's very like professionally done. I always like that with you guys and stuff. And obviously, you know, kudos to you and stuff, and Nate and stuff for the work you've put into the channel. You know,
the funny thing is, the thing I do the most is probably the thing no one will ever notice, and that is cutting out the amount of times that we are sitting there talking, and we're like, yes, yes, and I cut that and it's gone.
But that's the golden content. I want to watch a 10-hour compilation of Nate going, That's all I want in my life.
I did make a little breathing compilation course once. It was like the Macho Man Randy Savage, like the thing. Like I did do that one time, so I can send you that clip.
So yeah, that's a pretty sick stuff story of how you met Nate, and so it's quite a nice story actually. It was all through like, you know, him sort of live streaming and stuff, one of your sets and all that, and sort of from there it kind of formed a sort of friendship from there. That sounds pretty sick. What was the first video and stuff you were like on screen for?
That I cannot actually remember.
Oh.
Like I don't know. I just went downstairs to their recording studio for the videos, like pretty much after I had finished a Far Cry 5 like live stream at one point. And I can't actually remember what the first thing we watched was, to be honest. But I know like one of the first shows I got on with him for was probably Rick and Morty, because he was like, "Yeah, we're in the middle of watching Rick and Morty with Micah," and I was like, "Dude, I love Rick and Morty." I was like, "That's the one thing that like I will definitely watch over and over again. Put me on that." And he was like, "All right." So I got on with the Rick and Morty. Yeah, I started. The best thing I can remember is I started out upstairs in their live stream room, and I was playing Far Cry 5. But as for the very first video, like I'll have to leave that up to the fans to go see if they can Sherlock Holmes which one that was. I do not remember. I have a bad memory, to be honest.
I'll try and like look and stuff when I'm in post production. I'll try to have a look. I'm usually good with that sort of stuff, but if I can't find stuff, somebody else might be able to know. They might remember. So
there's always a fan that will find it for you if you cannot. So
the fan that like knows that and knows like your blood type and all that, like knows a bit too much information.
Yeah, they'll be like, "Your blood type's this," and I'll be like, "I didn't even know that, man. What the